Hey guys, I'm back with a new review video, and you can probably already guess what I'm going to review. I'm going to review the newest installment of the Chucky franchise, which is Cult of Chucky. Now it's only fitting that I review this movie because back in 2013 I reviewed all the other movies, and if you remember my opinions on all of them, I liked the first one, the second one, wasn't a fan of the third one. I did like the fourth one. And the fifth one, I didn't really mind. It was okay. And the sixth one, though, I did really like. It was actually the one that redeemed the Chucky series. And so it's only fitting that I review the newest installment, Curse of Chucky. Now, I'm going to say, though, that there's going to be spoilers in this video. So if you haven't seen this movie yet, I would say you should just not watch this video from this point on. Or if you have, feel free to watch this. Or if you just don't care, feel free and watch this as well. So, now let's get started. So, this one picks up a few years after the events of Curse of Chucky. And it starts out with actually a familiar face, Andy Barclay, played by Alex Vincent from the first and second movie, as well as he also had a cameo at the end of Curse of Chucky. So, picks up with him, like, he's now living in this log cabin. He's got, like, tons of guns, like, really equipped, trying to protect himself after the events from his childhood. It also makes sense that you'd have all these guns and know how to use them after he went to military school in the third movie. And so basically he has Chucky's severed head after he blew his head off with the shotgun at the end of Curse of Chucky. And so, like, he spends, like, time torturing Chucky, getting back at him. But then, there's also the main story, which revolves around Nika from Curse of Chucky. So, picks up with her in the mental institute where she was sentenced at the end of Curse of Chucky. And so she's going through, like, all kinds of treatments, like shock therapy, and also going through sessions with the doctor. But then, they decide to transfer her to a medium mental institute, since she's showing some good progress, and now she can now she has, like, more privacy. She can interact with more of the other patients. So she starts, like, meeting other patients, and, like, so the other patients have, like, different kinds of illnesses. Like, one thinks she's a ghost, one has, like, these whole multiple personalities, and one has, like, she killed her baby and now, like, thinks she, like, thinks, like, a doll is her baby and whatnot. So, like, each patient has their own personality. They develop them a little bit here and there, not so much of development as more focuses on Nika and her situation. And so, like, she's showing some progress, starting to, like, make look like she could get cured, like, thinking that she was the one that killed her friends and family in the previous movie, and that Chucky was us in her head. So, like, she's showing progress up until Tiffany shows up for a visit, bringing Chucky with her. And of course, Tiffany is played by Jennifer Tilly, reprising her role from Bride, Seed, and Curse. So she's back in this one. And then after she brings the Chucky doll, basically all hell breaks loose in the mental institute. So that's basically the premise of this one. My personal thoughts of this one: it was pretty good. I did enjoy it, but I didn't think it was, like, amazing, like it continued, like, saving the series and whatnot, because it's got its problems here and there. Like, as I said, like, I felt the other mental patients weren't as interested as, like, characters from, like, Curse of Chucky. They some of them didn't really have that good of development either. There was just, like, little talks here and there, like quick stuff and whatnot with them. And there was, at times it got a little confusing. Like, you saw Andy has Chucky's severed head, but then all of a sudden you see Chucky in the mental institute. I was wondering to myself, wait a second, like, how is Chucky here then there? So I was confused a little bit right there, but then they did explain it later in the movie, which also I'm also just gonna like mention this. I remember when I reviewed Curse of Chucky back in 2013, I said I was a little confused by the ending of Curse of Chucky, but this one cleared up my little confusion. Is that Chucky, like he actually mentions that he found a Voodoo for Dummies book and was able to like find out this new voodoo curse that he can now transfer his soul to like other dolls, so he can possess more than one doll at a time, not just possess just one doll. So like that was pretty clever, I'm gonna actually say, but something I don't really get though is like, when did Chucky like learn to do that power? Because like he didn't do it in any of the other movies. I mean, I can understand he didn't know that spell in the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth movie, but do you know it in the sixth movie? I mean, he was the only doll in the sixth movie, and I don't know. I mean, it's not really clear like when exactly he learned that spell. And like well, like acting at most part was pretty good. Like acting from Alex Vincent, Jennifer Tilly, Fiona Dorff, and of course Brad Dourif reprising his role as the voice of Chucky. All of them were pretty good. The rest of them, like all the other characters, were kind of mixed. Like they were okay. They weren't terrible, but they weren't really anything special though. And like like I did like how this movie was filmed. Like the cinematography, all the camera work, angles were pretty well done. There was times also like since like the mental institute that this movie takes place in, like it was all white. There's times like it got a little bright, so it kind of like hurts your eyes a little bit, or at least mine. And like I will say that I did like the gore effects in this one. Like the deaths were pretty creative, and they didn't really rely too much on CGI because like I noticed there was CGI stuff here and there in Curse of Chucky, and this one didn't really rely on CGI as much as that one did. Like it mostly used practical effects for its death scenes. Not to say that there was no CGI in general. There was CGI here and there. Like looked like there was some green screen stuff. There was some CGI rendering on some of the death scenes. But overall, they mostly use practical effects. So like another thing I did like as well, like is that well, I did like how Curse of Chucky brought back its serious tone. This one did take itself a little serious, but didn't take itself too serious. Like there was some dark humor in this one as well. So and it balanced it very well as well. But something I wasn't really that big of a fan of is like it felt like it was almost like made to like set up more Chucky movies, but I really got more of that vibe towards the end. That was just setting it up. But I did like though that there was like multiple dolls in this one. I did like the death scenes. There were some confusing stuff in it, and I also overall wish though that Andy Barclay and Tiffany were in this movie more, because they were more like just in like roles that just pop up here and there in the movie. It was more focused around Nika, which is not a bad thing, because when you really think about it, it's like Chucky didn't kill Nika at the end of Curse of Chucky, so it makes sense that he would continue to go after her. So, like, it's basically his unfinished business. So it does make sense he would continue going after her, trying to finish the job this time. But at the same time, though, this one did suffer from some plot holes. Kind of like, at the end, like, he actually openly admitted that he never wanted to kill Nika. He wanted to, like, possess her, or wanted to, like, have her join his cult. So, like, it doesn't really make sense, because, like, he went after her to kill her in the previous movie, and there's even like attempts that he tried to kill her in the beginning of this one, so that kind of doesn't make any sense. Another problem I kind of have as well is that I I just kind of wanted this to like be set directly after Curse of Chucky and not like set years later, because I don't think Chucky would have waited years later to go after Nika again. I mean, unless he just didn't know where she was. But at the same time, with all the technology we have today, he would be able to find her. And also, like, he was in the courtroom when she got sentenced to a mental institute, so he would know where she is. Let's go, like, because, like, it does make. Here's actually a little thing you're going to point out, though, is that in Child's Play 2, you see Andy is like maybe a year older than he was in the first movie. But it makes sense, though, that Chucky did wait because he was dead. Like, he died at the end of the first movie, and in the very beginning of the second movie, he is still dead, so he gets brought back to life a year later. So it does make sense that he was dead right there, but he wasn't dead at the end of Curse of Chucky. So, like, he, so he wasn't dead, so it doesn't really make sense that he would wait this long. But overall, like, it was an entertaining, it was a very fun movie. I liked it more than Bride of Chucky, Seed of Chucky, and Child's Play 3. I didn't like it as much as I liked the first and second movie, though. And as for Curse of Chucky, I think maybe I like Curse of Chucky just a tiny bit more, mainly because I think Curse of Chucky had a better story of, like, Chucky going after the family of these people who wronged him back when he was a human. And so, like, this one is just basically him going after Nika again, and as well as also starting up a whole cult as well. I will say that I know they're obviously going to do another Chucky movie, since this one was left open for another movie. And, like, this one and Curse of Chucky did suffer a little bit due to its low budget, so I'm kind of hoping that maybe one day we'll see another Chucky movie in the theaters again. But who knows at this point? I think at this point the Chucky movies are just straight to DVD now, at this point on. I'm assuming Don Mancini, the director of this one, he also directed Curse of Chucky and Seed of Chucky, as well as he wrote all the other ones, so he's the creator of this series. Maybe he just wants the series just to be straight to DVD at this point. Maybe he's got more creative control that way. But overall, I did enjoy this one. I do recommend it if you're a fan of the Chucky series. And I think that's really all I gotta say. So, hope you enjoyed this review, and I'll see you later. Bye.